Okay. My mini lecture is going to be on the art of listening. Listening has 5 stages or steps that are required to fully comprehend what you're actually listening to. Listening and hearing are different. Hearing is more what you hear. You could be, I don't know, driving and you hear the noises of cars driving by you. You're not really listening to what the noises are, you're just hearing them, the sounds. Listening is actually fully investing yourself into what is being said or heard and comprehending what you are listening to. That leads right into the first step. I'm going to use the example of a lecture in class. Say you're not really paying attention, might be something you've already read about or know, but then you hear something that you know you need to actually listen to, and you perk up your ears and you actually listen. Say you're in like a math class and they're talking about synthetic division, and you know you need to hear or listen to what it is the teacher's talking about, so you actually listen. And the first step of that is selecting, and that's that process, which is selecting what you want to listen to, which goes into step number 2, and that's giving a conscious effort to actually focus on what you're selecting to hear in order to achieve the listening. So selecting and attending go together. They're both conscious efforts on actually listening, but selecting is more like zoning out everything around you, the noises, in order to actually listen to what you're hearing. And then attending is actually listening the whole time. The next one is understanding what you're hearing. Does the thing that you're listening to actually make sense? That's about it. You really just kind of question what you're hearing to make sure you understand it fully. The next one is remembering. Remembering, pretty much as it sounds, you can actually recollect on what you listened to at a future time, and that really shows that you comprehended what you were listening to and paid attention and did the first 3 steps properly. And then responding is optional, but normally helps to understand, and that is so you just give feedback, you ask questions, do whatever it is you might towards whoever it is saying what you're listening to, like asking the teacher a question about it if you don't understand fully. Now listening has 4 styles. The first one is relational, and that I kind of put this in my midterm. My mom is a relational listener. She has her own daycare at my house, and she talks to all the parents, and it's really annoying, but she does it. I don't know. She's like a therapist. She just listens and copes and all that, and yeah, that's just what she does. I don't really know how to explain it. She just listens fully, gets what the people are saying. She connects with them on a personal level, and that's relational listening in a nutshell, I guess. Next one is critical listening, and critical listening is listening to the entire story or lecture or whatever it is, the entire thing, and then you actually analyze it, I guess, without jumping to conclusions. You listen to the entire thing, you get the full detail of the story, and then you do whatever it is you do after you analyze it and decide what is happening. And that leads into the third one, which is analytical. And analytical is more you question and you judge quicker than actually, like maybe like halfway through the story you interrupt somebody, and we all know those people, and you judge and you question because it's not making sense to you. You're more of an understanding. You have the understanding stage earlier that we talked about. You jump right to that and you just want to know everything. And then the final one is task-oriented. And task-oriented is basically listening, and it's the opposite of relational because you're really not there to make friends when you listen. You really just want to listen, learn, and then complete the task that comes with it. And that's kind of task-oriented. So yeah, that's really listening in a nutshell. When relating those 4 styles, I think you can be all 4, honestly. Relational, you can hear a story, you can connect, you can give feedback, constructive feedback, that's relational. Critical, you listen to the story. If they ask for a question about what do you think, you might give your ideas on how to, if it's a conflict, how to resolve that conflict after, let me see what time we're at. Okay, after listening to it. Analytical, you might just be an interrupter. I think that's what I really connect analytical to. I mean, you're analyzing the story, which is good. You're listening. That's not ignoring, which is, I guess, one step above. But you can do that as well. Cutting somebody off, want to know more about what it is they're saying, which actually can be very helpful if they're not really they're not specifying what they're saying. It could help the story or lecture or whatever. You know, those students in class that always raise their hand. That's another example. And then task-oriented, you might be listening to this entire story, giving all these different ways of listening just to get the knowledge to achieve a task. So I think they can be used all in one also, and they're all very different yet all effective. And that's listening.